I'm pumped to see Henry Cejudo back. It's just to me, he's got the wrestling, he got the Olympic gold medal, he's got 2-division champion, he vacated the title, he's coming back to basically claim what he believes is his. And what makes me really want to support the fact that and not because the Aljo and Josh Thompson beef and the Aljo and John McCarthy beef is real.
First off, I don't have a beef with him.
No, but we don't have a beef. He has one with us because of what we said one day.
That's all right.
He's so sensitive little fella.
So sensitive.
But when I look at what Henry can do today this weekend by doing this, by winning this title back, and I don't think that he's going to hang out there at 35. I really believe he's going to look at Volkanovski. I really believe that. And that to me, it just does something to me. Like it makes me like, man, I love it because this is what Patricio's trying to do in Bellator right now. And to see Henry do it would be fucking awesome to have it in the era that we live in. That John, you're still born in, like you're still living, like surprisingly, you're still around. Okay. So that's what makes this fun is like you have two guys in the hardest divisions trying to do this.
Yeah, that is. And that's, but okay. So, and yeah, I'm not taking anything away. Aljamain Sterling can definitely, remain the champion. Henry's good enough. He can get the championship. But if he does, and you're saying immediately going after Volkanovski, and you look and you go, man, look at all of the killers that are in that bantamweight division. Mm-hmm. I mean, first off, could it be that Aljamain deserves a rematch? Could be. Could it be that his man Merab gets a title shot if Henry wins? Could be. I mean, and take a look at, the guys that are in there. Look at, how about Umar? We've talked about him so many times. We know how good he is. Take a look at what Yadong Song just did. Take a look at just that lineup in the bantamweight division. You going to just send your bantamweight champion up to fight the featherweight champion right away? You sick bastard.
No, the reason being, John, I'm looking for legacy, man. If I'm Henry Cejudo, that was part of the deal of me coming back. If I win this title against Aljamain Sterling, you have to let me challenge Volkanovski. The style matchup, the size. I know that Volk is thicker. He's a little bit taller. He's all of those things. He's just as fast. He's
be the first time Volkanovski's actually able to look down towards his opponent.
Right. But you take the two of them, you have one trying to chase after a legacy of being a 3-division champion. His legacy and creating one that there's no way you can tell me that John Jones is the better fighter than Henry Cejudo if he ends up beating Volkanovski at 145. There's no way. I just don't see it. 3 titles.
I admit that it brings a definite conversation about if you have a guy that's won 3 different titles and done it against outstanding competition.
DJ.
Exactly. Demetrius Johnson being one,
I mean,
then when he got the bantamweight was kind of open at the time, but has beaten guys like Marlon Moraes, beat Dominic Cruz when Dominic came back to try to win that title. And then if he beat Volkanovski, I would say that he would have to be, he's definitely right there.
Well, he beat DJ and then he beat TJ Dillashaw. So those are 2 wins
at 125.
Then he goes to 35 and he beats Moraes for the vacant title. And then he beats Dom. Those are 2 legends, whether it's DJ, whether it's TJ, and whether it's Dom. Those are 3 legends.
DJ, TJ, Dom?
Yeah, these are all abbreviations of the names. It's killing me.
Eminem?
That's Podcast Dave. If you guys haven't seen Podcast Dave's Instagram, go there, check out his old Eminem photos. His dyed blonde hair, his rap videos, he's dropping bars, he's doing all this stuff. That's Podcast Dave. It's pretty comical. It's funny to look at, especially because I know him now, and I'm just like, really? This is what you were doing when you were younger? Really? This is what you were doing? Wow. He's like, wow.
I think we all want to take some of what we did when we were younger and go, get rid of it.
Just like that doesn't belong there. Oh man, things we can show our kids. It'd be great. Cool. Oh man. But it's gonna be. I look at if he's able to, if Henry, and I'm not even gonna get into the Aljo conversation in terms of him fighting Aljo right now, because I know that we're gonna break that fight down in a sec. I'm just talking about the history of Henry Cejudo, his ability to get the takedowns, stuff the takedowns, keep it on the feet. He'll be faster on the feet. I think he's the better striker on the feet. He's all of those things. He's not the better jiu-jitsu guy though. He is not the and he's not the
Definitely
big
not the
he's
better
not the
submission
bigger
guy.
he's not the bigger guy. He's not the better submission guy. He's not the bigger guy. He's probably not the stronger guy.
Aljo's gonna be a lot bigger.
Yes.
A lot bigger than him. Because Aljo's big for 135 and getting bigger all the time. And I can understand why he's thinking about moving to featherweight, because it starts to become taxing on you. And so it's probably a smart move for him. But he's going to look just a lot bigger.
But you said this to me. You said, hey, well, you've got Merab there, you've got Umar there, and I said, that's a fucking another reason for me to get the hell out of here. Like, let me get on to me creating something that no one's ever done, me doing something, me achieving something that no one else has ever done. You know, and it's so funny because him and Patricio were training partners for a long time. They worked together for a long time. They made each other better. They talk about it all the time about how they helped each other so much. Yeah, and I see the two of them trying to do something at the same time that no one else has ever done. And it would be really hard for me to say. And look, I've always respected John Jones, his ability. The stuff outside, that's where it gets a little shaky for everybody, I think, to like him. But his abilities, his fight IQ, all of those things, I don't think there's ever been anybody in the cage that's been as good as him in that area. But Henry Cejudo, if he ends up accomplishing this goal of beating Aljo, which he has to do first, and then he's got to go on and try to beat Volk, that right there, I mean, those two things, those are huge mountains for him to overcome, especially after a 3-year layoff. Especially after a 3-year layoff. But if I was to say...
Dave, pull up, how old's Aljamain and how old is Henry Cejudo?
I think
Aljo is 33.
Yeah, and Cejudo's older than that.
Yeah, 35,
right?
I think.
36.
36.
This is that age, man, where he's got to get it done. But styles make matchups. And if I was going to pick someone for him to fight, this is the guy that I would pick for him to fight. Maybe Merab.
In my opinion, this is one of the toughest fights for Aljamain.
Yeah.
In the fact that he relies on his wrestling a lot to, put the fight where, he's the best, and that's on the ground. And this is not going to be an easy ability for him to get that, with just wrestling. He's going to have to lay his hands on Henry, hurt Henry, and get the takedown while he's either hurt or knock him down or any of those things. The takedown's just not going to come very successfully through wrestling.
Yeah, I think between Aljo and Merab, those would be the two easiest fights for Henry. Now, I'm not saying that he can win them. I'm saying that he has a chance to win them, but those are the easiest stylistic matchups for Henry Cejudo. The ability to stuff takedowns, the ability to get takedowns.
Guys that go after the takedown and use the ground.
Yeah. And then their stand-up, neither one of their stand-up is fantastic. It's good. It's not fantastic. It's not
Aljamain's is good.
It's good.
Aljamain's is good. Merab's is proficient.
But my point is that it's not Henry's level of stand-up. And Henry's stand-up has gotten so much better since when he fought DJ the first time to when he fought him the second time, and he's gotten so smooth. I just want to know, how much of the Henry are we going to see from 3 years ago? Is that guy back? Is that first round going to be the ring rust? A little bit of that, fight speed, trying to catch up to it? I just think I think he's surrounded himself with such top level talent. He's at such a great camp, and I also wonder, he's had so many guys go down there and females go down there and train with him. He has to consistently be getting better. Mentally, he's preparing himself for, like, this guy does this guy does that. He does a great little breakdown on his Instagram and like on his other stuff. Hotbox? It was a Hotbox? It was something like that. Anyways, he does like a little breakdown of some fight stuff. He obviously is very good. He understands the sport very well. But the way he breaks things down is pretty damn good. And I can see him figuring out how to beat Aljo and understanding what he needs to get done. And I think he has all the abilities to do it. I'm just pumped to see him come back in the cage because he's the Olympic gold medalist, 2-division champion. He defended both those titles, which is something that not everyone has done. And now he's looking to get this title back. And then I would like to see him fight at 145. There's a lot that's got to happen, though.
One of the things that you're saying, though, that is so true. You've been there when we've sat down with Henry and talked fights. And he's a nerd. Yeah. He's a fight nerd. He's like us. And if he reminds you of someone coming from the wrestling world and everything, he's like Mo Law. Very similar. He breaks things down very well. He looks at certain things. He's a fight nerd, and that's a good thing because he is capable of breaking down his opponent and figuring out, hey, here's where I think I can take advantage of it. Here's where I think I can make him press. This is the areas. And he has now come into the point of, and it's part of his whole training thing with, Pitbull Brothers, is he controls the fight very well now. Before, early on, he pressed. And that created problems at times for him. Now, he's more into, I control the fight, I let the guy come, and I take advantage of what he's trying to do. And we're going to see if it works for him.
100% agree. Okay.